What happened to every GTA protagonist after the games? Ever wondered what happened to our favorite GTA protagonists after the games? Today, we're diving deep into the post-game lives of characters like CJ, Nico, and Trevor. Stick around till the end because we've got some jaw-dropping twists and unexpected turns waiting for you. Every GTA protagonist's end is mostly a mystery, though there are some cases where the situation is made clear. Not every road ends in the same spot. The protagonists of Grand Theft Auto are left on their own after their adventure. It is up to the story to decide their fate in the absence of plot armor and a player to direct their actions. But the future of a few GTA protagonists is still up in the air. Many characters in the game know how to raise their heads. They have millions of dollars to spend and have beaten all of their rivals. Sadly, not all GTA characters are this fortunate. In any case, players can only last to guess about what might happen after their final mission ends. First up, let's talk about Claude. Claude had finally dealt with Catalina and the Colombian cartel by the end of his solo game. However, he made many enemies along the way. In Grand Theft Auto 3, just 2 of the 7 gangs are friendly to him. This makes it risky to drive around Liberty City. Claude, after all, is a lone wolf and can live without a pack. 10 years after GTA 3 was released, Rockstar Games declared that he was still alive, but we don't know what happened to him. I've always assumed that Claude would have ended up in jail. However, after the exchange, it states that there are still no clues as to the cause of the massacre, indicating that he got away. Still, given that Claude escaped from a prison convoy, killed witnesses, shot down planes and helicopters, planned prison escapes, and took part in other incidents, I think it's safe to say that there would likely have been a statewide search for him, with any of the many people or groups he came into contact with being more than happy to pursue him. Tommy Versetti. Tommy Versetti rules over half of Vice City and is a wealthy and influential man. His power over the South is unbroken after he kills the Forelli crime family. Tommy owns and operates extremely successful businesses, including television studios, nightclubs, and auto dealerships. Tommy is still alive and thriving in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas years later. On his website, 80s Nostalgia Zone, Kent Paul makes the argument that Tommy was still powerful in the early 2000s. With how little time drug lords in the South have to live, this is a truly amazing achievement. Mike. In GTA Advance, the player is none other than the long-forgotten Mike. His promise to retire peacefully is kept, compared to most protagonists who make such a declaration. Mike flees to Colombia after he escapes a police raid and is never heard from again. With the money that was stolen, he begins a new life. Carl Johnson. He always wants to be at the top of his team, as Carl Johnson would say. But Kendall says there are still issues in San Fierro and Las Venturas even after they beat their opponents. Grove Street families have at least made a full recovery. The state's most formidable gangster is CJ. CJ ought to control most, if not all, of the Los Santos territory by the end of the game. Every safe house and property is also up for grabs for players to buy. CJ should be doing well for himself without having to worry about Big Smoke or Crash. Tony Cipriani. Tony Cipriani had a very exciting year in 1998. He climbed through the Leone family's ranks quickly. In terms of power, he was just behind Salvatore by 2001, but the mob boss dies in a high-profile murder. It's unclear if Tony has successfully taken control of the criminal family. Tony and the man who killed Salvatore, Claude, never had a direct conversation. There is a chance that these two will fight over property because they are so power-hungry. These two might wind up fighting it out for control of Liberty City. Victor Vance. Victor was not so significant in GTA Vice City at first, but Rockstar Games made him a fully playable character in the prequel. All of the efforts that he made in 1984 to grow his drug empire ultimately came to nothing. Victor has the dubious title of being one of just 2 characters to die in a different game. He was killed in 1986 when a killing squad showed up during a deal gone wrong. By GTA Vice City's ending, his brother Lance had met a tragic end. Nico Bellich. Nico Bellich wants to move on from everything and leave it behind, but by the time he seeks his revenge, it seems like a pointless win. By the end of Grand Theft Auto 4, he will undoubtedly lose important friends and family. Many years later, no one appears to be aware of Nico's fate. Packy believes Lester is dead, but Lester says he went black. He works for his cousin Roman's business, Bellich Cab Service, as a taxi driver. Nico stays in touch with well-known people like Brucey Kibitz, Little Jacob, and Mallory Bardis. Evidence from the game points to Nico's continued involvement with Roman's cab business, suggesting a more relaxed and calm life. Though there are hints that he might have given up on a life of crime, it's unclear exactly what happened to him. He didn't receive the Johnny Klebitz treatment at the very least. Johnny Klebitz. None of the other GTA protagonists face such a low point as Johnny did. He goes from a battle-hardened warrior to a drug-addled loser who could barely face his girlfriend's cheating. The worst choice he's ever made was to get back together with Ashley. Trevor Phillips mercilessly crushes Johnny's brains in, bringing an abrupt end to his life. Eventually, in the Los Santos area, the Lost MC collapsed to dust. By the end of GTA 5, the majority of the characters had passed away. Louise Lopez. Compared to the other GTA 4 protagonists, Louise is clearly in a better situation. Louise gets to experience the high-end, luxurious lifestyle, unlike Nico and Johnny, both at the beginning and end of his game. He also gets to see an easy ending, in contrast to the other two who are always faced with pain. As Louise's fate remains a mystery, he is the only main character in Grand Theft Auto 4 without a clear ending. If nothing else, Tony Prince, his previous manager, is still a major player in Los Santos. Huang Li. Huang Li eventually came to learn about the truth by the end of the Chinatown Wars. His uncle Kenny was the one who killed his father. Kenny was the next in line to take the Triad's lead, as Xin Xiaoming was about to retire. Huang stops his plans and eventually kills Kenny to take revenge on his father. Xin then suggested that Huang take over as Triad leader. Huang's standing in the Triads remains a mystery as the question remains unanswered. Trevor Phillips, Michael DeSanta, and Franklin Clinton. In the end, these trios' outcomes are set by each other's choices in Grand Theft Auto 5. Franklin Clinton was given the option of killing Trevor or Michael. He does, however, have the option to get rid of any last enemy. GTA Online indicates that option C is most likely the canon ending in 2017. According to Ron Jakowski, Trevor had turned into a lifestyle coach. Tao Ching also mentioned the Third Way missions events a few years later. Since Michael's family life is back on track, it may be believed that he was able to finally enjoy his retirement. Franklin is younger and more ambitious, so it's more of a mystery what happened to him. He doesn't appear to be content with sitting around all day. So there you have it, the post-game journeys of CJ, Nico, and Trevor, from success to struggle, and everything in between. Their lives continue to surprise us. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay updated on more gaming content. Thanks for joining us on this adventure, and until next time, keep gaming and keep exploring.